Craig Duncan is the studio head at Rare, and they are bringing us a gift in a brand new Battletoads game. And tell me how long this game has been bandied about within Rare as a company. I mean, this was a franchise many years ago.
Yeah, I mean, well, I grew up playing Battletoads, so
Yeah.
that probably ages me pretty well. Obviously, Rare is a history with great legacy, as well as doing new IP like Sea of Thieves. So Battletoads is a game that I think we remember fondly, but what was awesome, the studio called Dalala Studios that are working with us, they grew up being big Battletoads fans, so they actually came to us with a new pitch and wanted to reinvent Battletoads. They had a lot of really great expertise in hand-drawn animation and basically told us it's the game they'd love to make and they were really passionate about. So we said, okay, let's look at that and explore it and make it together. And we're here at E3 showing gameplay for the first time, which is amazing.
It is amazing. It's a great story. They work with you on Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah, so they're a small kind of indie studio. They've done some work for hire work for us and other teams. But I think like most work for hire teams, they're looking for the game that they can make and own and be passionate about.
Right.
And part of the reason they wanted to work with Rare was I think their love for Battletoads. And then just conversations turn into bigger conversations. And then they put a great pitch together, they put a great demo together, and we have a game that we're now showing and really excited about.
Talk us through somebody that hasn't played it since the NES days,
Okay.
sitting down and playing the new game. Are they going to feel right at home, or is it going to be completely foreign to them?
So it's definitely it's a reboot, so it's a new version. And without going too much into the story, there's a reason the Battletoads haven't been around for 25 years.
Yeah.
That's baked into it. It's, as you've seen in the trailer.
Where have they been, Craig?
As you've seen in the trailer, it's very self-referential, and we'll talk a little bit about the story as we get closer and over the next few months. But for us, it was really about, the Battletoads coming to life at E3, showing the multi-genre mashup that the original was. Like, some people think the original was a beat-em-up, some people a platformer. You obviously had the Turbo Tunnel, which is the racing section. So that multi-genre aspect of it we've brought through,
Cool.
but in a up-to-date, hand-drawn 2.5D. You can use the tongue to drag enemies around, and people remember old games really fondly with rose-tinted glasses and just that nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it's really like, I think what people imagined they were playing with Battletoads is hopefully what people feel now when they do play it.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, and it plays like a cartoon. Like, it plays like you're watching a cartoon, which is amazing.
You've got a couple of the genres on display here with the brawler and the racing kind of component. Are there other ones that you are kind of keeping under your hat for right now?
Yeah, there's definitely some more things we'll share in the future. I mean, we hinted a few of them in the trailer.
Yeah.
So if you, the trailer was supposed to be a really quick montage of lots of things. So doing things where maybe one Toad's trying to deal with one problem while another two are fighting off bad guys.
Right.
And just how we can play with that. Ultimately, it's the heart of a couch co-op game.
Awesome.
And you and your friends playing together, and you want those moments where you're trying to get us through something that's really tough while I'm dealing with something else, and just how can we make that in-room dynamic really, really awesome.
So it's cooperative all the way. You could have two people in the room and then one person online, or do you?
It's purely in-room couch co-op.
Okay.
So
Like the old days.
That was the design principle. It was really about playing either with two of your friends, or you can play single player and switch between the Toads.
Awesome.
But very much couch co-op, yeah.
Now, what about the difficulty? It's famous for being a very difficult franchise. Is this going to be impossible for people?
I think the gaming world is very different now to what it was in the early 90s.
Yeah.
But we know people that play Battletoads and have a passion for things like Turbo Tunnel will expect that level of challenge. So we've actually, what we're showing here at E3 is a mix of one of the combat sections and Turbo Tunnel. Generally, the feedback we've got, and it's the first time we've let anyone outside the studio play, is like the beat-em-up stuff's really fun and Turbo Tunnel's really hard.
Sounds like Battletoads.
And we're still playing around with the difficulty of that, but we want something that is like all these things, something where if you fail, it's because you fail.
Right.
And really getting into that pattern recognition of being able to learn something, we think that's a real tenet of what Battletoads is. But obviously, gaming has moved on a lot in 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
So actually having ways for people to finish it and complete it, so whether it's multiple difficulties, we're still playing around with that stuff.
When you guys, as a studio at Rare, created Battletoads, you didn't have 25 years of characters under your belt. Are we going to see cameos from any of the characters that we know and love from the Rare Replay days?
No comment.
Okay.
I think the thing is it's about making Battletoads true to Battletoads, and it's very much Delala's vision of Battletoads, which we respect as creators, but obviously being involved creatively is really important to us. But it's very much, it's a Delala game, and it's their Battletoads for this generation.
We start to see this happen a little bit more throughout the industry right now with games like Sonic Mania and Streets of Rage, the Monster Boy game. There's these collaborations with classic IP that are being brought to life in some fascinating new ways. Can you see Rare doing more of that kind of thing, like a new Blast Core game or something like that?
God, that's a deep fill.
Yeah.
We did Rare Replay back in 2015.
Wonderful game.
Which was Rare.
Wonderful collection. Yeah.
30-year, multi-genre, multi-generation, multi-platform. I think for me, it's more about what made sense with Battletoads was Delala's passion for the game. I think Battletoads hasn't been around for a long, long time, so I think reinventing it, you can see it behind this classic hand-drawn animation, we've got great story behind it, so it just felt like a really great fit, and that's the thing for me, it's not about remakes, it's about is a team really passionate about an idea, and does the IP fit? And Battletoads was actually, there's a lot you can hold true to what was special about Battletoads, but bring it up to date as well.
Absolutely. Are there, extended plans with Battletoads now that you're bringing it back? Is there going to be a comic book, or are you talking to animation studios?
Yeah, it's like all these things, see how we go. Obviously, we've done a lot of transmedia work with Sea of Thieves, we've done comic books, novels. All of that learning is in Rare, that's Rare's social teams and media teams. So the great thing about us working with a studio like Delala is, while you would class them as an indie or an idea Xbox studio, actually partnering with Rare, there's a lot of things we can help them and give them that can just help them be more successful with a game and a property like Battletoads.
I cannot wait to play this game, and one thing that I learned in speaking with you is that if you have a lot of passion for a particular Rare IP, go speak to this man, because you might be able to develop it, which would be amazing.
And if you have a developer, it's always got to be the right idea, the right team, the right skills, the right passion. Like I say, over the coming months, we'll reveal more and show more of Battletoads.
Dude, I want more of this kind of thing. I think it'd be great. If you could remake any one of the Rare properties, or, from your personal kind of favorite list, what would you like to see come back?
You're going to get me in trouble with headlines if I met that kind of statement.
Come on. You got to have one favorite Rare game.
I love everything that Rare does. And we did it with Rare Replay. What we're doing with Battletoads, I think, is a really awesome way of reinventing the franchise, and then who knows?
Who knows? Thank you, Craig.
Cheers.